Hold on. Let me work on my settings, and then I can maybe get the camera going.
Yeah. I set up everything to be able to like have, this is the only place I can even record.
Well, you could, I mean, technically, if you wanted to see your face, you could just turn and
Camera.
face the outside so the sunlight hits your face. But
yeah, but then there's nowhere to put my laptop to where I'm not like looking down on my laptop. This is like, I mean,
are you in, what is this like? Oh, all right, KD, second KDs. Now we got two KDs.
You know what? Let me see.
It doesn't matter.
No. Okay.
Cool. Is that like the Aria, Chuck? Where are you?
Yeah, we're at the Aria.
I recognize it from the view.
The sunset is nuts.
There's KD. KD, you're in here twice.
Oh, nice.
Can I kick the other one out?
Yes, please.
Can I do that? I'm gonna remove. Oh, you did it. Oh, did I remove you? Are you there?
It just said Katie left.
All right, everybody good?
Let's do it.
So.
Kelly, you know Chuck?
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Chuck.
I'm a big fan.
Cheers.
I love your writing. It's incredible.
I love this podcast.
No shit. Well,
I mean, when it's the three of you, not when it's,
Yeah, of course. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Yes.
All right. Welcome to Fast Break Breakfast NBA podcast. My name is Keith Parrish, here once again with my buddies through the miracle of computer phone. I'm joined by Chuck Anderson.
Hey, no.
That was very quiet. It's early in the West Coast where you are, Chuck. I can see you in your room at based on the view. Before we started recording, I knew which Las Vegas casino you were in based on the view from your room. Okay, you're in the Aria. If anyone's chasing Chuck right now, I've given you a clue to where his location is. But anyway, more on that in a second. Also joining us, not just Chuck Anderson is here. The wonderful Kelly Dwyer is here. Kelly, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me on.
We're really excited that you can join us. Basketball legend Kelly Dwyer. But I'm more interested in Chuck being in Las Vegas right now. Chuck, why are you in Las Vegas? Just vacation? What are you up to?
Yeah, just burning some vacation time on a job that I'm actively trying to quit, but they keep pulling me back in.
Oh, but you had vacation?
I have vacation time. So I'm like, let me just to go before they, make some weird pronouncement as I'm walking out the door that they're not going to give me my vacation time and pay. I don't trust capitalism. Pretty much. This is the idea. I
don't know how anyone could have lived through the last 3 years and trust capitalism.
Right.
But still keep going.
But ironically, I've come, me being super suspicious of capitalism, I have come to the whatever Muslim equivalent of Mecca for capitalism. This is to capitalism what a Hajj is to a Muslim in the Middle East. So I don't know why I came here.
Listen,
I hate it.
It
costs $150 an hour to just exist here.
Yeah. What are Ubers now? The gas costs like $6 a gallon. I haven't
Ubered
Ubered
was like
in a while.
$30 to go 6 blocks or something.
Yeah, and the driver's losing money on that exchange.
Yeah, probably.
Like the poor Uber drivers, man. The last time I'm in Vegas, the Uber driver's all like, yeah, man, Uber, like they'll lease me a car. Isn't that awesome? It's like, no, man. That's like you're working in the coal mine and you get paid in company script to use at the company store. It's terrible. It's literally the end of like your life. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Kelly, do you ever go to Vegas?
I went there once to buy drugs.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd it work out for you? Did it?
Pleasant experience, pleasant after effects.
5 stars. Would recommend.
5 stars. Yeah. Gambling is not a thing for me. I'm guessing somewhere in the Dwyer clan past that someone Seamus O'Hallahan in my family has lost money on dice before. So, luckily, in spite of all the, no, not a Vegas guy. Not my thing.
Hey, the one thing
I'd love to go there.
So like, I'm like weirdly into it. My wife, I've said this before, my wife won't go. She went twice and was like, it shouldn't exist. Like, that's her. She's like, it should not be there. It's in a desert. Clearly our planet is dying and this thing is in a desert and it needs all the electricity to make it cold inside the rooms. And there's no water. Lake Mead is disappearing. Like, you can go to the Hoover Dam and see, like, hey, you see that water level? Never going back there. And and she's like, it shouldn't be there. And there's no argument for that. Like, it should not be there. It's a weird, strange.
I have an argument for that. You don't want to see shrimp cocktail sweat.
But hey, I think mostly for me, everywhere you go, it feels like it's purposefully disorienting. I mean, even the Walgreens has like weird, like the aisles wave. There isn't straight lines anywhere. It's all intent to keep us in a space where we will think it's a good idea to bet on black. Like, this is not a good place for my spirit.
Wait, it's not?
I used to have a rule that I would not spend more than 24 hours in Vegas.
Right. You said you couldn't be at Vegas when I thought the sun went down, basically. I thought it was
right. Well,
vampire/gremlin rules.
I stopped doing hard drugs, so I'm trying to figure out if that works for me now in the current state of sobriety I have.
We should tell our listeners out there that both Kelly and Chuck are sober now. So that's
what's up.
That's worth talking about. I mean, as far as Kelly's experience in Vegas notwithstanding, you guys came through the tunnel on the other side. Oh, hey, one thing Vegas is good for, and I can speak on personal experience from where you're staying at the Aria, Chuck. Breakfast.
Oh,
the breakfast buffet at the Aria is mind-blowing. Have you had breakfast, Chuck? Please tell me you went to the buffet.
So it is butt crack early here.
Yeah,
I did not have breakfast, but what I did have yesterday was a cotton candy burrito.
Oh, yes.
What? Tell me everything.
I did it for you, Keith. So the cotton candy burrito goes as such. The cotton candy is laid out flat like the tortilla. Then inside, multiple scoops of ice cream.
Oh.
So I wanted to keep it in the show. I went with Fruity Pebbles with vanilla ice cream. Then they just wrap it up like a burrito, cut it down the middle, and it is ungodly. I had to split it. I also needed to take insulin after. So yeah, it was something else, but I did it for the program. I did it for the culture. And I'm very happy to report that it was tremendous. It was blue. It was blue cotton candy. I don't even know what flavor it is. Raspberry. I don't know. Blueberry.
Yeah, it's blue flavor.
The blue flavor.
I think I got a lot of questions. I think one of the foremost questions most people are thinking right now, have you had a bowel movement since then? And what was the color?
I've been I usually am like a multiple time a day.
Your little travel stopped up?
I think so.
It's the desert. You got to hydrate.
And I was on the toilet. I did have one. And how do I put this? My withdrawal didn't match my deposits. If you know what I'm saying? Like,
I need you to spell it out more.
So I ate more than I
I
left.
got it. Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I went hard yesterday, but this morning was strangely light.
So I guess we haven't gotten the colorful explosion I was hoping for. No. Kelly, when Chuck said cotton candy burrito, what did you envision? Is what he described what you envisioned?
Yeah, just about. I mean, right until the next evening, actually. This entire display, the town, the city, the backdrop.
Yeah.
It all scans. It absolutely scans.
Because I gotta say, what I was thinking a tortilla with cotton candy inside. What you described is a little more palatable, where it is just there's no savory. There's no rice, beans, and eggs.
No.
And yeah, all right, that makes sense. Kelly, have you had breakfast today? You're in Central Time, or you're in Indiana. Are you in one of those weird no daylight savings areas?
We were, but we grew out of it. So we are Suck it, Arizona.
Yeah.
So why I'm in Eastern time, which means I will eat breakfast sometime around 4:00 for my pregame nap, and it will.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be oatmeal, and it's gonna be laced with. You go to the store and you get the knockoff salad bags, and they give you like these. I get the little the baby sunflower seeds. I can't remember the Spanish name. Pepitas, yes, pepitas and dried cranberries, and they come in the salad mix. But I'm not putting that in the salad. But come on, so I put that in the oatmeal, the plain oatmeal, little water, little microwave, little peanut butter, and there's your 12-cent hobo oatmeal.
That sounds amazing, Kelly.
Hey now.
My breakfast, I had black coffee, and also I had some peanut butter and crackers, because that's just what I made my 7-year-old for a little snack. He wanted a snack about 10 a.m. I made him that. I had also I made myself one pretty solid. Hadn't had a peanut butter cracker in a while. It was pretty good. My son is home because, by the way, COVID is here again. Our 4-year-old got it. It makes my 4-year-old, this is the second time she's had it. It makes her delightful. It's like a mood raiser. I don't know if that's an actual symptom that the CDC has identified, but she becomes more playful and maybe more fun to be around. So that's kind of a weird side effect of apparently having this virus, but we're all at home now. Luckily no one's feeling bad. Anyway, those were our breakfasts. After our breakfast, we move to our breakfast in bed apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong on a previous show. Kelly, you're a guest. I mean, apologies optional, but it is the first time we usually talk about the NBA, which the show is supposed to be about. We'll start with Chuck. Chuck, you have anything you need to make right in the world?
So I was sick last week. I caught a quick bout of the coronavirus, which was great.
Oh, you finally got it. Congratulations.
I finally got it. Popped my cherry at the perfect time, right before I went to a place where people are breathing into your mouth on a constant basis when you're walking down the street, because the humanity here is overwhelming. But I felt it coming on as we were recording, before we were recording. So I took a Sudafed, and I was probably a little too hypey there. And I was screaming at John Burr, and I said that all of his predictions were wrong. And he's never been right and all this stuff. And me and John are real close buddies, so I can get after him a little bit, but sometimes I feel bad afterwards. So I just want to apologize for John Burr. He was right about half of everything.
He got some predictions correct. Also, life rule. You should basically never apologize to John Burr, but since he's not here to accept it, I think it's totally okay. I know that's why you did it, and that's fine.
Is for like karmic purposes. It isn't really to repair my relationship with John. It's twisted and dark and never really be anything healthy. So
he picked the Celtics. He predicted the Celtics would make the finals, which that's been a roller coaster, looking right or wrong. He also did pick the Nuggets to make the conference finals. So whoops.
And the Mavericks to win it all. I'm not sure.
He did not do that.
Okay.
He did have the Mavericks in the finals, I believe.
I think he did.
Which again, that wasn't terrible. It wasn't. I mean, I picked the Mavericks to lose to the Jazz because Luka Doncic was hurt. If you remember when that series started. Yes, predictions they're frequently wrong, so we make mistakes. I'll apologize, not for a prediction, for a factual thing I got wrong. Last week I got a little overzealous. I was carried away with a fervor with my Game 7 Devon. and the Game 7 Devon talk, I got real excited, and
you did.
I kind of blacked out a little bit. Listen, I'm baseline. I'm kind of absent-minded, and since having children, it's like turned up to 11. I like black out. Like I don't remember things. Mm-hmm. Like I find my phone in the freezer. Like my wallet, it's like, it's in the washing machine. Like, oh, there it is. Like no clothes in the washing machine, just my wallet. Like I really have moments where I don't like, I go into a fugue state, and it's like, man, I wish I knew where my keys were. And there's no way to find them. They're outside. Like literally yesterday, I was trimming some branches, some hedges with some gloves, and I had 2 gloves on, and someone texted me, and I actually took off my glove just to use my phone, and I don't know where that glove is now. Like I can't. Like I've walked around the whole yard. I don't know where the extra glove. Anyway,
this is dad stuff. This is what dads do.
It's like parts of your brain stop working. So anyway, in last week's episode, talking about Game 7, Devin, there was a moment there where I forgot that the elimination game against the Bucks was a Game 6. It was not a Game 7. So some of the things I said were wrong. I did go back into the episode and like edited out some things to make it more factually correct. Listen, that's how much I care. But I did, in fact, I casted some aspersions. I think the general sense of what I was saying is okay. Like this Game 7 was terrible for him. Last year's Game 6 elimination game. Booker doesn't rhyme as well. Doesn't have the same rhyme. And if John was here, what he would say doesn't matter. Just print the legend. Game 7 Devin's good enough. So I'm sorry for twisting the truth for those of you who heard the episode before I went back in and maybe corrected a couple things that were factually wrong. Kelly, have you been moved to make something right in the universe or something you feel like you need to apologize for?
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry about all the blowouts. These are all my faults.
Oh,
a lot of these teams have gotten hold of. They're not under my byline. In fact, there is no byline, but they've gotten a hold of my pamphlets. This is my work. This is my handiwork. You mentioned the sober part. This is back when, 06 to 2016, kind of a blur. It was in that period maybe when we were upset at LeBron, maybe I think it was before the Game 6 against Boston. The impetus doesn't matter. The context doesn't matter. What matters is this stuff got out. And they're in the locker rooms, and it pumps people up. They go through them. It's only 2-3 pages, and compared to what's in these, these giant thick X's and O's, true shooting nonsense they got to go through anyway. It's a good read. I'll give myself credit for that. So yeah, I've been pumping these guys. I mean, you saw last night, Miami had like 1 point. Also along those lines out there, I may have sort of like an antidote pamphlet out there that Miami got a hold of. Kind of just talking them down. It was meant to be like a reverse psychology sort of deal. But anyway, these are all my faults. And I'm sorry. But these players, it's not so much superstition as it is fads. And, these things are popular. They get around and, they're easy to thumb through. And here we are. We've had 12 clutch minutes in the playoffs since 2021.
Yeah. So you're saying that the things you put out in the universe that you wrote basically have now come into, they've gotten in the wrong hands, and you're causing all these blowouts. That's why we don't have any good basketball games any of these nights.
I'm thinking it's through Brad Stevens because I'm in Indiana, and it's just, I don't know, maybe like I could have been at a comedy show and it's just, there's a lot of things that happen in this state.
Yeah.
There's no beer sales on Sunday. So on a Sunday, it's just all up for grabs. People are flying to the borders and stuff like that. And this is how these things get around. Again, my bad, but I'm you see who follows me on Twitter. It's you got the Pat Riley fake account, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have some sources out there, and I know what these people are reading, and they're not going to show it in the the catwalk walk into the the ABC showing them when they're wearing their big watches and stuff like that. But the pamphlets are out there, and this is my fault. I'm sorry.
I know. I appreciate you owning that, and I appreciate you coming clean. Because I got to be real, hasn't been a lot of drama recently. In the playoffs, if you're going to lose, and actually, Chuck, you're experiencing this because your team is still alive. The Heat it's a roller coaster. It's an up and down. But wouldn't you would rather lose in this fashion than the heart ripping out like the Grizzlies blowing 3 fourth quarter leads to the Warriors fashion.
I mean,
you never want the hope.
No, it was so great because I was in the sports book yesterday, start watching the game. About a quarter way through, I go, hey, I could go back to the room. I'm gonna go order room service. I'm gonna be chill. Everything's gonna be great. I don't have to invest emotional energy into this. Did we miss our first 14 shots?
I believe that's the mark I saw.
We didn't score a bucket until 3 minutes left.
Your starters scored 18 points.
There's so much weird. That's just weird.
The starters were 7 for 36 from the field. How is that possible?
because like you're in a space in a series where the Heat at one point like had a 26-point lead against this team.
Oh yeah.
At one point they had a 20-point lead against this team, you know, and there's no real like way for me to wrap my basketball watching experience around these games. Like, and that's why I think, and I'll get into it later, people are pulling weird stats out to try to make sense of what is just complete randomness.
I mean, the Grizzlies had a 55-point lead on the Warriors, and they're going to win the title.
So nothing makes sense anymore.
That's just, it's everything's a mess. Anyway, well, those were our apologies. We'll get more into the probably the Heat in a little bit. Before we move to our steak and eggs, best thing I want to tell you guys in the Memphis area that the Grizzlies are partnering with the Junior NBA to offer a 3-on-3 Juneteenth youth basketball tournament on Saturday, June 18th. It's at the MAM Grizzly Center. The cost is just $25 per team. For that cost, the kids ages 13 and under can compete with their friends while receiving jerseys and other giveaways. This will fill up fast. So visit memgrizyouth.com/Juneteenth 3v3 for full details and to sign your team up today.
Recording in progress.
You back with us, Kelly?
Yes, sorry about that.
Oh, good. You missed the ad.
Good.
Here we go. Steak and eggs, best thing. What is the best thing you saw in the last week? Kelly, what is your steak and eggs best thing?
I'm tired of screen and rolls. I don't want to see any more screen and rolls for the rest of my life. And I like Golden State. They make weird passes. They take chances. Everyone cops on them about their turnovers, and that's fine. I guess we're all coaches now, but I like Golden State. They don't just drag everyone out to the top of the everything and just run two people until they end up with a slow guy in front of the best player on the team. I know they do some of that. I know it's, they're not averse to it, but I have enjoyed the way Golden State, it could have been worse on a serious bit. Draymond, his back that was a weird back injury. Same thing with Brook Lopez. Like that could have been worse. That could have been, he's not going to come back. And we see that often with back things, and it stinks and it's terrible and it comes out of nowhere. And the weird sprain or foot thing that Steph had could have been worse. And for them to be clicking as even though Klay Thompson is going 12 for 30 in every game, that's great to me. It's fun. It's different. It's not, sorry for two Brad Stevens trashes in 20 minutes, but it's not Brad Stevens-y. It's just, fun.
The Warriors offense, I love how when I watch Draymond, and I'm a big fan of Draymond and the way he plays, but like the low light compilation you can make is just all time. The number of just bounce passes thrown out of bounds, the number of the leading passes to Klay Thompson, where they were something like 0 for 12 on those attempts in the Memphis series. But like they do stress the defense. They force, the defense to react to those things. So eventually when they hit them, they get the home runs. And then it also possibly clears up their shooting. And then you have Klay Thompson, like you mentioned, Klay Thompson is struggling. But like this Warriors team right now has Klay Thompson in like the Avery Bradley role or like the Contavious Caldwell Pope role. Like, if this random shooting guard makes his threes, we're going to win the title. Well, this random shooting guard is Klay Thompson. So it's like, He just kind of drifts through the game. And then at the end, he's like, we're up by 4. I'm wide open. I'm going to hit this one. I'm going to hit this one that matters. And so, the Warriors offense and the way they're just, erasing my predictions about the Mavericks and just up 3-0 in a series that hasn't really felt that competitive. They have the Mavs so off kilter, but it's the offense, where it's just so much fun to watch. And Steph is finally clicking and like making his threes and looking as good as he did a few years ago. The excuse we were all making, like, oh, Steph isn't Steph. That's not true anymore. Like he looks like MVP Steph. I think we got to the bottom of his free throw problems in this postseason, where I was like, it's legit a thing. He was under 80% for a while from the foul line. I think he's missing his free throws to help his finals MVP case. I think he saw Iguodala get that finals MVP with 38% from the line. He's like, you know what? Maybe I need to miss some free throws. It'll make him appreciate me more.
Jug the stats.
Yeah,
That's
Chuck,
the
what's your
move.
best thing?
My best thing, man, I'm looking at the bright side because that's what we get to do in this modern NBA fandom world. Miami only lost 2 quarters last night. So we effectively won raised the banner. Everything looks great. I think my biggest problem with this quarter counting stuff is that it's stupid. And it should stop. And no one should ever do it.
Listen, the Heat lost by a lot, but you make a good point. They doubled the number of quarters they won for the series.
Boom. So let's look at the so I think really though, what this should be is a funeral for this show should be a funeral for lead changes, right? Like if there is no more back and forth anymore.
It's all wire to wire wins.
It's just you're going to beat the balls off the team because you shoot 40% from 3 and they shoot under 30. Like that's the game. Except yesterday, the Heat actually had their best 3-point shooting game of the year of the playoffs almost, and they lost by 20. So nothing makes sense.
Yeah,
the multiverse has ripped apart. Doctor Strange is responsible for all of this, and nobody knows anything. We don't know anything.
The Celtics were the second team in conference finals history to win a game shooting under 40%. So I don't know what it means.
And here's my Boston take thing, right? They do a lot of it's a theatrical event that the whole building is in on it, right? Like the people in the video booth who control what you see on the Jumbotron get told to show Marcus Smart coming out of the tunnel. So the whole audience goes nuts and but I think not. And Keith, I'm not like a ref guy. I'm not out here calling the refs stupid, but the free throw disparity between Miami and Boston in games 3 and 4 is kind of like eye popping.
Well,
and it isn't.
Did you watch? I mean, I assumed you watched. No, you didn't watch the game. You went back to your room for room service. You said
the first quarter was all.
Well, Jimmy Butler is your guy to draw fouls. Obviously,
he is.
He's one of the best in the world at drawing fouls. He's not Jimmy. He was not Jimmy Butler in Game 4.
Oh, last night
he didn't seem okay.
Right.
He was not getting into the paint and drawing the contact like he normally does. I mean, your other guys like Max Strus, he's not going to draw a foul. Like, what are we talking about?
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't know. Max Strus, by the way, played 15 minutes and got nothing. Zeros across the board. Was that a 15 trillion?
I mean, I think that's a pretty great. I think it was a pretty great move for Miami to just they were present yesterday. But once you see Scott Foster, right? Once you see Scott Foster
Scott Foster didn't feel like he did anything. I like the theory. I saw this on social media. Scott Foster, now that Chris Paul's eliminated, just doesn't have the thing to wake up for in the morning.
No fire.
He's got no inspiration.
He doesn't need to do anything. He's a lot like Deion Sanders. When you know he's on that side of the field,
I got you.
Okay. You're just not not
going to his side of the field. I like that.
You can't go to that side.
Hey, Chuck, you talk about all of Boston, like the in arena media. And I would say even like the broadcast, the ESPN broadcast seem to be very pro Boston. They're very pro the storylines, the guys getting hurt, coming back, the way things are playing out. I've actually uncovered, or I'm curious if there's another league-wide conspiracy where I feel like I'm specifically being targeted and duped. And it has to go with our year-long bet over Tyler Hero and his scoring average. Now, I have admitted I didn't watch an entire Miami Heat game in the regular season. I never once watched a game from start to finish. And
I got you, buddy. You don't need
and yeah. So and every week we came on the show and it was like, good Lord, Tyler Hero scored 30 points per game this week. And I'm like, how is this happening? It doesn't make any sense. And now I'm watching the playoff games. And that's the Tyler Hero I recognize. I'm like, look,
one you wanted.
This is the Tyler Hero I was talking about. He's shooting 13% in this series from 3. His postseason 3-point percentage makes postseason D'Anthony Melton look like a marksman. He's at 23% for the entire playoffs. The guy's averaging 13 points per game. And so I'm sitting here, a guy who doubted Tyler Hero, and now I'm watching Tyler Hero. I'm like, well, that's Tyler Hero. Who's this other guy? Who did this in the regular season? I feel like I've been deep faked. I feel like these box scores are not true from what happened. You're telling me he averaged over 20 points per game in the regular season? How did that possibly happen? I see this Tyler Hero, and that's the Tyler Hero I was talking about. That's the Tyler Hero I made a bet about. And now here he is in the regular season. Apparently he did something. He won 6th man of the year.
I think that was the worst thing that could happen to him. He wins 6th man of the year. He comes out in a post-game press conference in a sleeveless leather vest. And that's where I'm like, all right, this is the same thing as the Tyler Hero cereal that he made. He thinks he's too much at this point, and maybe he needs this to come back down to earth. He was getting hunted like prey.
Although it's not going to help. You saw the pants he wore in game 4.
Oh my God.
And then you see the result. He's like, I didn't play and you guys got crushed. I didn't play. You guys couldn't score. No one can score out there. It's not going to slow
Nothing makes
down.
sense. It all sucks. It hurts. It really hurt me yesterday.
Yeah.
I had hope. That was the problem.
I'll tell you my best
That's on
thing.
me.
My best thing is the shenanigans of the Dallas Mavericks. Sure, they're down 3-0. Sure, they're getting swept out of here shamefully. But they are screwing with the NBA's rules. They are going to force probably a rule change of some sort in the offseason. The Theo Pinson rule. The team has been fined for bench decorum over and over for encroaching too closely onto the court. And initially it was like, are they just standing up? Are the people sitting close to the court? Are the people who paid out for those first, second, third row tickets? Are they upset? And then it turned out, no, we figured out what was happening. Theo Pinson was being a 6th defender on the court by creeping onto the court, trying to affect shots, trying to crowd shooters, trying to make players not appear open as if they were guarded. But so this was uncovered. And then it got it even further where it turned out that Theo Pinson, who again I don't think he's played a minute for the Mavericks this postseason. Is he even on the active roster? Anyway, he wears a shirt for the color of the other team's jerseys. And he does that standing in the corner, virtually on the court, hoping they will throw him the ball and force a turnover. And we finally got to the bottom of this. Like literally, I mean, I watched these games and I hadn't understood that that's what he was trying to do. It finally became clear to everyone before game 3 of their series. That's what was going on. And in the pregame, we had a mic'd up segment where the ref goes over. I believe it was Mark Davis goes over and it's like, hey, I need you to change your shirt. The opponent's like, why? He's like, well, you're wearing a white shirt. The Warriors wearing white jerseys. It's clearly you're trying some subterfuge. You're trying this thing that's not explicitly covered in the rules, but feels illegal. Like you to change your shirt. Just change your shirt. He said, he even joked, the ref said, I'll buy you a shirt, whatever you want. And Theo's like, all right, cool. Yeah. All right. He did not change his shirt. And I guess the league has no way to force him to change his shirt. I mean, I would like to think if David Stern were still alive, this would not happen. He would say, listen, I'm taking your first round draft picks. I don't care what the CBA says. Change Theo Pinson's t-shirt or
what I want is
fine.
In the future for every, street clothes player on the bench to like stand next to each other and like have some LED kind of fabric shirt that they can manipulate, like wavy, make it look like disorienting, like a casino in
Are you
Las
allowed
Vegas.
to have a shirt with an LED screen that just plays like that shows an image of a player on the other team? Like, could you have shirt that has a video of Klay Thompson on it?
I'm sure the technology exists. There's nanotechnology. There's all sorts. I'm sure.
Why?
You guys are going way too strong on this. Just buy the uniform.
That's what I was about to say, Kelly.
Back.
What would prevent him from just dressing up like a Warriors player? Can Theo
I grew up watching Klay Thompson, and this number, what does he wear? 39, 42?
Can you wear a full kit?
Yes, exactly.
That would be the best thing. Listen, you have no shame
anymore. You're
down 3-0 in the series. Just wear a full Warriors jersey, Theo Pinson.
And get your hands ready.
Clap for the ball. Who was it? Was it Pokashevsky who was clapping for the ball on the sidelines once in like a G League game?
Yeah.
And his teammate threw it to him. He was standing out of bounds on the bench, like put his hands up and clapped for it, and they threw him the pass. Man, that's going to be awesome when it's Chet Holmgren throwing it to a bench Poku next year. Anyway, those were our best things. The opposite of our steak and eggs best thing is the cream of wheat worst thing. What's your worst thing you saw in the last week? Kelly, what's the worst thing you saw?
The Athletic, otherwise fine website, discussing some of the draft combine questions being asked of these young men. And it's infuriating. I hate it. I hate every part of it. I understand that there are 5 to a side in basketball, and that every personality matters, and that it's good to know what happened with the players' dog when they were growing up and what sort of music they listened to in junior high and all that sort of stuff. But it's getting NFL weird, and I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I don't understand why the NBA draft combine is becoming a thing. I get that it's a lot of, it's good for making fake trade rumors and putting Zach LaVine in Los Angeles for a week. But the fact that we're running these 30-second picks through the mental rigmarole and it just, can't we just run them through some tires or, left-handed free throws or something? It's getting a little. I understand Danny Ainge has had some success in Boston, but I do not think we need to have some sort of phrenology deal going on with the way that we draft these players
are we
illegally on top of
Kelly,
that.
are you still down with hand slide? Can we still keep doing the hand measurements?
Oh,
Where I'm like, hey, this
no,
guy's
see,
9 inches and 9 inches.
We don't want that anymore. We need shooters. You want smaller hands to get that rotation on the ball. Small hands are going to become a big thing. It's an undervalued commodity. And just look at the flick of that wrist because they have to.
Jaylen Brown leads. I think he's a leading indicator of that because I think his hands are actually the size of Barbies.
I didn't.
And that's why he can't dribble.
I feel bad not being as aware of Jaylen Brown's dribbling problems until this series. Like, I didn't know they were so pronounced where I'm like, yeah, he really can't dribble the basketball. It turns out, Kelly, what music did you listen to in junior high? Not to turn the tables on you like you're a
junior high. A lot of Mats, a lot of Replacements, a lot of classic rock, a lot of anything with guitar. 92, 93. So it was a lot of the alt heroes of the day, but a lot of replacements. That
sounds like a bit of a rebellious streak. I'm crossing you off my draft board.
No,
that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Can't have that in my locker room.
I
value locker room continuity. I just want like a wow. That's what I call music. That's basically. Or is that called now?
All I listened to in 1998 was Big Pun. That was it. My only. And DMX, so that would probably put me on a watch list somewhere.
Well, the tininess of your hands would raise you back up, so it'd be great. It'd be great, Chuck. Here's my worst thing. This might go to my absent-mindedness. I'm just like, I didn't know this thing existed. I've been podcasting about the NBA a minimum of 2 times a week for the last 6 years. And during that time, apparently there's been a thing called the NBA Hustle Award. I've never heard of it. There's no way you can tell me this has happened before. They announced an NBA Hustle Award. And also, by the way, it seems to be shrouded in secrecy. Who picks it? No idea. Is there a vote? Doesn't say. Did they release the media members who voted for it? No. They posted a top 5 in the Hustle Award. It makes no sense. I don't believe this award ever existed. Apparently it started in 2016. And I'm going to see what you guys know about it. So, Chuck, what's that song? Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage. All right, Game of Scones. This is all I want. This is all we're going to do. Who are the 6 winners lifetime of the NBA Hustle Award? Do you guys know? By the way, I'll tell you, the NBA Hustle Award was announced. It was released. It was created to coincide with the release of hustle stats on the NBA.com website. So that was the tie-in.
Wow.
Anyway, the first one was awarded in 2017. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kelly, I feel like you might read PR releases, so you might have an advantage here.
I know all of these winners.
You know all of them.
I know all of these winners.
You want to run the table? You want to run the table and just?
I can run the table, but I learned them this week because I did not believe you. I thought it was something that was introduced last year, and I was like, 2017.
Well, let's make Chuck guess. All right, Chuck.
Yeah,
you
good luck,
go
buddy.
go first.
I know from the kerfuffle of this that Marcus Smart won, and I feel the only reason I know that is because they announced it in the TD Garden as Marcus Smart was coming back from having his foot sat on.
Oh, here comes the hustle leader. Here comes the hustle leader.
The Hustle Award winner. Look at that. That's
so
really
actually, Marcus Smart, adding to his trophy case, not just Teams of Player of the Year. He actually won this award in 2019 as well. So he's the first 2-time winner. But that means we have 4 more winners. Kelly, you want to try to name them? I should name one, and we'll throw it back to Chuck.
No, I remember them. I know them. I know them. They're ridiculous. I can't help with hints, but I know them because I'm sorry. I had to see 2017. Okay, NBA.
Well, give me one. Then I want to throw it back to Chuck.
Well, the first one is Pat Beverly.
Pat Beverly, correct. The first one ever. Right, Chuck, back to you.
So now I'm just going by who Pat Beverly and Marcus Smart are to the NBA intelligentsia or coach. What do they see them?
Here's a hint.
There's no way he's going to.
These are the only flopping guards to ever win
roads here.
The other people to get it, not guards.
Oh, really? Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Give me
one of them you'll never get. Like I could give you 500 guesses.
Ever.
Like I wouldn't get it. It would be like name every NBA player you can think of.
Well, he hustles in a way.
What about Lou Dort? Lou Dort seems
it's a great guess. It's a great
like
guess.
A hustle guy.
I feel like Lou Dort, if he hadn't been shut down by Sam Presti, would have probably gotten it.
Is PJ Tucker a winner?
We feel like he should. Let's just run through them. Kelly, give us the remaining winners.
The crazy one is Montrell Harrell.
I didn't think that's the crazy one.
Well, see again, are these like raw deflection stats? Are they per 36? Are they? I mean,
this is like, another issue I have with it. All right, so the other two is Montrez. Last year, Thad Young won it.
Thad Young
on the Bulls last year won it. Okay,
what?
In 2018, Amir Johnson won.
Amir Johnson?
That's the one I could have. You get 500 guesses. I wouldn't say the name. So here's the thing. This is from the release that NBA.com posted. The Hustle Award rewards players that do the little things that don't show up in the traditional box score, but have been tracked since the NBA debuted its hustle stats during the 2016 postseason. So then they go to talk about how well Marcus Smart did. He ranked 7th in charges drawn on a per minute basis. This is the charges drawn award. Okay.
This is a terrible incentivization.
He came in so listen to this. I'm going to read this. This is straight.
Qualified.
This is straight from the release. All hustle stats are measured on a per minute basis as to even the comparison among players that play varying amounts of minutes per game. Great. Now the next paragraph. It's all totals. Marcus Smart had 75 loose balls recovered. He drew 16 charges. He had 104 box outs. These are the totals. These are not per minute basis. Like, I don't even know that they only even included 139 players to be considered eligible. Those players who played at least 24 minutes per game on at least 58 games. Because I was outraged. I had one guy in mind where I'm like, I just want to compare Marcus Smart's the biggest hustler. How does he compare to D'Anthony Melton? Not very well compared to the per minute hustle stats. Marcus Smart, 17th in deflections per minute. Melton was 2nd. Loose balls per minute. Smart was 14th. Melton was 2nd. Offensive loose balls recovered. Marcus Smart was 27th. Melton was 26th. Offensive box outs. We're counting box outs. Marcus Smart was 113th. That's worse than Grayson Allen. Melton was 97th. Smart has Melton on the defensive box outs. Like,
Oh, thank God.
I don't get who voted for this. How do we arbitrarily give it to Marcus Smart? Like, is there a formula? Like, is it a weighted BCS type scoring system?
Amir Johnson got it playing under 16 minutes a game.
I don't like. I even filtered it. I filtered it for like say maybe he didn't average 24 minutes per game. Melton averaged 23 minutes per game, but he played 73 games. So I did it based on at least 1,300 minutes, which would be 58 games times 24 minutes. And I don't understand how he came up with this thing that basically says good job for drawing charges. Also, there's a top 5 this year. Did you see this, Kelly? Our top 5 finishers for the season: 1, Marcus Smart; 2, Pat Connaughton; 3, Bruce Brown; 4, Bobby Portis; 5, Isaiah Stewart. I mean, sure, but who came up with this?
I mean, because again, some of them are out there for 1 million minutes, and then you got like a tryhard like Connaughton coming out and making every play-by-play guy fall in love with him in the second quarter. It's like they took all these fancy Dan stats and then ran them through like all the, okay, let's get our most senior writers at NBA.com and have them pick it because they don't know what to do with these stats. But let's just give them the 3-ring binder and let the future Kirk Gowdy Award winners just have a go with it.
Yeah,
I like to think there was a PowerPoint presentation at some point that like they had to pull people into a room to explain this.
That's like this article, which is not objective. It feels like a PowerPoint presentation to try to convince someone of something. It says not every player has the instincts and awareness to play the passing lanes and disrupt the team's offense with deflections. Smart finished 10th in deflections. What's like that's not per minute.
Yeah,
that's not the per minute thing. It says not every guard wants to mix it up with power forwards and centers to fight for rebounding position. Smart led all guards with 104 box outs and finished with 3.2 defensive rebounds per game. 3.2 defensive rebounds per game is terrible. Like that's not good.
So I'm looking again. It seems that the Amir Johnson, that was the second ever Hustle Award. Do you think that was like they voted for him as like a protest? Let's just pick a guy.
No, I think they had
Illuminati.
a system. This is the who was the Golden State center who almost made the All-Star game? Who got the fan vote?
Not Zaza, but
Zaza.
It was Zaza.
Was it Zaza?
Yeah, Pachulia.
Okay.
So I think the Amir Johnson thing was like we have a formula, and Amir Johnson won the Hustle Award playing 16 minutes. We got to change the formula. That's not okay. We got to raise it to the top 130 players in minutes played or something. And that's how that's how they had to change the All-Star vote because they almost put Zaza Pachulia in the game. Anyways, NBA Hustle Award. What are you? I don't believe you existed.
Please, does not exist.
I need a little transparency on how this process is created. I don't believe it currently. Way too much decisions being made in a closed room. I need to know how this award got handed out. Anyways, Chuck, who has another worst thing? Chuck, did you do your worst thing yet?
I do.
What's your worst thing, Chuck?
When you got a series like Miami and Boston and things are going the way that I felt the universe should allow it to go, where the Heat were doing fantastic things on the road against Boston, they got an early lead, and then Peyton Pritchard does some nasty. It broke codes. There was a health code. There was a fire code violation. All sorts of things. Yanking on Jimmy's knee. And then what happens? He misses the second half. They win the game. But game 4, he looks like a zombie limping around. And nobody talks about it. So I want to be the official guy to talk about Peyton Pritchard a la Jordan Poole doing a non-basketball play, making a terrible thing happen to the best player on the other team. It just breaks my heart that the Heat might lose because Jimmy isn't all the way right. But it also gives me a built-in excuse. So I'm kind of thankful for Peyton Pritchard. I will be able to mention your name when people say the Miami Heat only won 4 quarters out of 7 games, like all this stuff. Like I'm cool with it because now I have you, Peyton Pritchard, to I have a tweet saved that I will show everyone. Whenever people that don't even know me, I'm going to walk up to them and say, do you know Peyton Pritchard? Can you believe he did this? And that's how I'll get through and process this inevitable trauma that I'm going to experience the rest of these playoffs.
Chuck, can we talk about the photo from this Heat Celtics series? It made me uncomfortable. What the frame of the photo, what was captured just within this one specific photograph. It was Bam Adebayo celebrating running with a fist raised in celebration. And behind him, it's only white people. It's only white Celtics. It's only white fans. It's Peyton Pritchard's Daniel Tyson, maybe a cornet. And it looks like it's not from this decade. It looks like it's like Texas Western. It's so strange. It is all these angry Celtics fans with goatees and Oakleys, and it's just 3 white players, and Peyton Pritchard is just like looking there with his little shaved head, just like scowling. It made me feel so awkward. I'm like, I hate this photo. Like we had to get some we need to put diversity into this photo somehow to make it less uncomfortable.
You can find this exact photo on our Instagram because it is the highlight for me of Game 3. It was tremendous. If you zoom in on Peyton Pritchard's ugly little lemur face, he looks like a
please, Chuck,
like
don't
lemur.
be crass.
Daniel Tice looks like somebody stole his bike outside of Boys.
They look like movie villains. And not to be stereotypical, but they all have shaved heads. And they look so angry.
They all go to the same barber.
It's almost like back in the day when the Trailblazers had a bunch of injured white guys like Zach Collins and Nurkic, and they all had like gelled hair and like leather jackets, and they're like I don't know, Bond villains or something. This was just a little different one where it looked like the guys from Good Will Hunting, where they were picking a fight at the Little League baseball game type thing.
I'm looking. They had 2 guys. Ahead, 2 white guys in shorts on their bench last week.
Yeah.
I had to look up who they were because it was like, Stauskas is playing, and there's Luke Cornett's. No, he's playing. And then Kelly, there's another guy.
When Stauskas checked in, I had to Google what number. I was like, who is that?
Who is that guy?
I'd forgotten Stauskas found his way.
And I'm like, Stauskas is out there getting, massive cheers because he's Boston Celtics' favorite player besides Peyton Pritchard. And there's still a guy wearing khaki. My big explanation to anyone who whines about people on the bench is, no, it's fine. It's all fashion. It's, it's a t-shirt, but it costs $400. You don't have to worry about it. And there's this white guy wearing an olive green shirt and a pair of khaki shorts, sitting there. It's not a good look. This is not
Kelly,
a good look, Boston.
You don't strike me as someone who would be pro NBA dress code, but listen, I
think
the
white guys?
Good there.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Guys, for sure.
Oh my God, yes.
Not to pick on Grayson Allen again, but he wore jeans and a Dunder Mifflin t-shirt to a Grizzlies game to sit on the bench. I was like, man, you're a millionaire. Come on. Anyway, those were our worst. Those were our worst things. Before we get to a word segment of the program, we have a single listener submitted question, the croissant questionnaire. Feeling Beverly asks, which player's grave, active or retired, would you most enjoy pissing on national television the day after they get eliminated from the playoffs in embarrassing fashion? In other words, if you are Patrick Beverly, who is your CP3? So which player, if they were eliminated in the playoffs in embarrassing fashion, would you like to go on national TV and make fun of?
All time?
All time.
Oh, that's easy.
Who you got?
Bill Laimbeer.
Oh, I loved Bill Laimbeer.
Come on. I watched 1 million Chicago Bulls games a year, and they finally get to the second round, and they got to play Bill Laimbeer. Then they got to play in the Eastern Conference Finals against Bill Laimbeer. Then he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And you find out he's a rich kid, never had to play basketball. His father is like a box billionaire, just made his trillions in boxes. I don't know. Maybe he was the guy that invented that way that you fold the four sides down on the top to where they all lock, even though you teach your kid how to do it, but you don't really even know how to do yourself. So yeah, Bill Laimbeer easily, he would heckle the people that would do the Star Spangled Banner. They would talk to him after games, and he would give them the cold show. I would absolutely go on, and I'd go deep dive into the WNBA and get, credibility, not trying to be the guy that's, dipping his toe into it and then pretending that he knows everything. I'd be quiet for a year. But then at the end of the year, when Bill Laimbeer's team gets knocked out, I'd all of a sudden just bust out all these per 36 stats about whoever Bill Laimbeer did in his rotation. I would piss so hard.
I love it. I love the vitriol you have for. He's one of the great goons. I mean, he's a all-time hated player. Sure.
He ruined the last months of my 1980s, and he ruined them. Come on.
I was a bad boy Pistons fan when I was a child. Chuck, who's your guy? Chuck, who's your guy?
So
is it Paul Pierce?
Historically, it is Paul Pierce. There's no other person on planet Earth. A distant second is Patrick Ewing.
I don't like Patrick Ewing either.
Yeah, he like the Heat Knicks rivalries in the 90s or something. I remember hating Patrick Ewing specifically so much that I switched because Hakeem beat Shaq, and I loved Shaq. Right, Hakeem beat Shaq in the finals, and made him look like a human and not a Superman. So I hated Hakeem. The next year, Hakeem plays Ewing, and I, for some reason, love Ewing. Ewing is the greatest person I've ever, and the timelines might not match up. I don't know, but in my head, Hakeem went from the guy that beat Shaq to the guy that beat Ewing. It might have been backwards. Those years are backwards, but whatever. I was fourth grade.
I have a friend who listens to this show who's a big Knicks fan, and I love pointing out the Patrick Ewing stats in the finals, like that. I believe it's that matchup. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
These were heady days with OJ and all. So,
do you know what was Patrick? All right, Patrick Ewing's field goal percentage in the finals against the Rockets. He 36%. He had a game of 9 for 29, a game of 8 for 28, and a game of 6 for 20 in a 7-game series. This is your center. Like, those are all-time International Stackhouse of Pancakes numbers. I mean, those are this day in International Stackhouse of Pancakes history. Ewing, unbelievably terrible stats going up against the Dream. I mean, yes, the Dream's the greatest. He's amazing. Ewing was out of his element. But here's another Patrick Ewing stat for you. Patrick Ewing and Dylan Brooks had the same number of 30-point playoff games through their age 26 season. There we go. That's right. Now I'm cooking. My answer, which player would I make fun of if they were eliminated in embarrassing fashion? I don't have to wonder what if. Dial up last week's show, Game 7. Devin, see you later. Thanks for playing. Appreciate the question. Feeling Beverly. If you guys out there want your question to be answered on air or as part of our monthly Zoom Patreon only hangout, you obviously have to become a Patreon supporter. Do that at patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast. You can join the Slack chat. You can join some of our watch playback events that are just for patrons. You can also just be a good fella. Support the program. Patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast. Get involved over there. Patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast. All right, it's now time for the International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award, given each week to the worst performance in a box score. We have a few honorable mentions. Jason Tatum, 3 for 14. Tyler Hero, 4 for 15. Klay Thompson, 6 for 18. Our 3 nominees that we'll be picking between as they occurred throughout the last week. We have Luka Doncic in the Game 1 loss against the Warriors. He was 6 for 18, had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 7 turnovers.
I know.
Reggie Bullock, shades of 0 for 12 or Ariza. Reggie Bullock played 40 minutes in the Game 3 loss against the Warriors. 40 minutes of nothing. No points. 0 for 10 from the field. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 4 personal fouls. And then a visibly hobbled Jimmy Butler in the game 4 loss was 3 for 14, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls. So our 3 nominees, Doncic, 6 for 18, 20 points and 7 turnovers. Reggie Bullock, 0 for 10, 0 points. Jimmy Butler, 3 for 14, 6 points, 7 rebounds. What do you guys think?
I'm not gonna vote for Jimmy Butler.
You're normally a volume guy, Chuck. I mean, the 3 for 14, 6 points is a little bit worse maybe than 0 for 10, 0 points. I think Doncic is out. It's Bullock or Butler, right?
The reason why I'm not going for Butler is because Jason Tatum went 3 for 14 the game before, and I don't even think he's nominated.
Yeah, he was an honorable mention because he had better other stats.
Whatever. Well, yeah, I'm not going. You whoever.
So Bullock. Well, I'm going to cast you for Bullock.
I think Bullock. Like they just
listen,
felt,
Chuck. Just give
like
me your voter ID
felt
card,
heavy.
and I'll cast the ballot. It'll be fine.
Okay, go ahead. Stop the steal.
Stop the steal. Kelly, you have a strong opinion. Which one of those games is the worst to you?
It was Bullock because the poor guy won an award that day.
He
Irrespective of what the award was.
It was the newly created. It's never existed. Literally, it was a social justice award, right? He won the social justice award, which I'm sure has existed before this year, and then he went out
Cool,
and yeah, he was the second player ever joining Trevor Ariza to play 40 minutes in a playoff game and go score.
In the second quarter of the game, I was legitimately like, I thought it would be like an alt-right thing. I thought this is going to get on a pot. This is going to be like a Rogan aside or something. And this guy won the SJW award.
Yeah.
And he goes out there and he can't keep his dreadlocks out of his face. And, I thought it was going to be that. I almost want to keep it down a bit and blame it on Luka. I'm going to vote for Luka because I don't want it to get out there. I thought it was going to become a thing. I thought we were going to have to deal with that sort of Ennis Freedom was going to hop on it. Something was going to happen. So let's keep Bullock's bad game down, and I'm going to go with Doncic because he's the best player there.
All right. I'm going to give it to the winner of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Award, Reggie Bullock. It's a great award, great cause. I can't even find it's an annual award, but I can't find if it's ever existed before. I'm all over NBA.com trying to find out if there's ever been another winner. I think this might have been the first one, but if next year there's a list of 7 past winners, I hope I can remember that they made it up on the spot. Congratulations, Reggie Bullock, on winning this week's International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award. Par fadeaway, gentlemen. What things are we looking forward to in the coming week? Kelly, what are you looking forward to?
I'm trying to be nice about these last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it's going to be of games. I hate the fact that they're running these guys every other night. I think that's why we're getting these blowouts, that these guys don't know what day it is. It's just a game night or not a game night. Well, Tuesday and Sundays are irrelevant. So I'm trying to see the bright side of things in a 0-3 game for Dallas or make the best of a situation where one team has 1 point after 32 minutes. I'm just trying to understand where they're coming from, trying to give Patrick Ewing, a bit of a slide for playing his 100th game in the season. Same with these guys. The last season just ended basically, and the season before that hasn't even started yet. It's been a weird kind of 3 years, and I'm just trying to enjoy what hasn't been great basketball. Looking forward to the finals. Maybe if they put a logo on the court and a patch on the uniform or something like that, maybe the play will pick up. Maybe the extra day will be off. But I'm trying to be glass half full with these games that are about half full when they're 32-16.
Do you know how many overtime games we've had this playoffs?
0.0.
I kind of like that though.
We had one.
We had one? Who?
Yeah.
You won?
Sixers Raptors.
Ah, yes.
Oh, it was on
that's
April 20th,
right.
Chuck. That's why you don't remember.
Oh, 420. Blamed
Yeah.
it.
Thursday.
Yeah.
remember that.
It would be cool if some of these games were a little bit closer. I had a little drama. That'd be fine. But I'll tell you, I've already moved my gaze beyond this playoffs as I do. I have a wandering eye towards the off season. The draft combine might be awkward and weird, but the draft itself is awesome. And fake trades, I love them. And these reports that the Trailblazers are looking to trade the 7th pick for a veteran. Oh, I'm raising my eyes there. The Kings maybe want to trade the 4th pick. They lucked out. They sent Sabonis to the lottery. They moved up in the lottery to 4th. Now they have a chance to get somebody. They're like, no, we want a veteran. My dream is they take that 4th pick and they trade it to the Pacers to get Miles Turner. And we reunite DeMontis and Sabonis and Miles Turner in Sacramento. We let Sabonis have 20 games without Turner. That's also my dream. But no, I'm fired up for what these teams can do. I've actually constructed Kelly. I've constructed a 5-team trade.
Oh wow!
And let's see if we can give it. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Here we go.
I gasped.
Let's pull this up. You tell me who says. Actually, hang on.
Who says no?
Who says no?
Can't find my trade. I'll never be able to recreate it.
I don't even think I can come up with 5 teams without pulling my computer up.
Gonna have to. Right, here we go.
See. They're the Pelicans. Who played
Okay,
last
here we
night?
go.
The Heat.
In this trade, I've involved the Sacramento Kings. I've involved who are willing to trade the 4th pick for a veteran. I've included the Trailblazers, who are willing to trade the 7th pick for a veteran. I've also included the Pacers, the Hornets, and obviously the Grizzlies. Here we go. The Kings, who have no use for Rashawn Holmes. He had some off-court issues at the end of the season. Also, they DeMontis Sabonis. The Kings will trade the 4th pick, Rashawn Holmes, and expiring contracts of Justin Holiday and Mo Harkless. For this, they will receive Malcolm Brogdon, who they reportedly are interested in for some reason. They will receive Malcolm Brogdon, Kyle Anderson in a sign and trade, a veteran who can help you win, and the 22nd pick. They move down 18 spots. They pick up Malcolm Brogdon and Kyle Anderson. Seems like an easy win. Definitely something that at least Vivek will sign off on. The Hornets, they need to free up some space to give Miles Bridges his money. The Hornets are going to trade Gordon Hayward and restricted free agent to be PJ Washington for Rashawn Holmes, maybe a fresh start. He can play center for them. For Justice Winslow. Oh, and they're also going to include the 15th pick, the Hornets' own 15th pick, to move up to the 7th pick. So now the Hornets have traded the 15th pick, Gordon Hayward and PJ Washington, for Rashawn Holmes, Justice Winslow, and the 7th pick. I think maybe they do it. The Trailblazers, they've traded the 7th pick. They want a veteran. They have their eyes on a player who played college basketball in Oregon, who has lit them up throughout his NBA career. I'm talking about Dilly Brooks. The Trailblazers, the 7th pick, and Justice Winslow. Oh, also, by the way, they're receiving Mo Harkless from the Blazers in this. So return to Mo Harkless.
Of course.
The Trailblazers are going to get Mo Harkless and Dylan Brooks. Also, by the way, the Grizzlies' own 29th pick. And they're going to trade away Justice Winslow and the 7th pick. The Pacers, who have sent away Malcolm Brogdon, they've sent away the 31st pick in the 2nd rounder. They're going to get this, the 7th pick from the Trailblazers and Gordon Hayward. So the Pacers swapped Malcolm Brogdon and the 31st pick for Gordon Hayward in the 7th pick. I mean, that's an easy yes, right, Kelly? This is your woods. This is your neck of the woods.
Identify me with the Pacers.
I'm just saying, you know about the Pacers. You've been to the Conseco, whatever it's called now, Fieldhouse.
Yes, I have been to the Spit Seed. Yes, sounds good for the Pacers. Those farm boys. Good luck to them.
Finally,
he put on. You guys don't know this, but before he started this trade, he put on a lab coat.
Yeah.
And
finally, the Grizzlies come out massive winners. Of course. Why else would I do this trade? The Grizzlies trade away Dylan Brooks. That's going to hurt. I don't want to trade Dylan.
That hurt.
They traded away Dylan Brooks. They did a sign and trade to get the Kings, Kyle Anderson, when the Kings don't have any salary cap space. They also have sent their 29th pick to the Trailblazers. Their 22nd pick goes to the Kings. In return, though, they get Justin Holiday, who I might have not mentioned him, by the way. Justin Holiday, he's the expiring deal from the Kings going out. They get PJ Washington from the Hornets, and they get the 4th pick. So I went through each team. It seems feasible. It seems reasonable. I don't know exactly. I'm with the who says no here.
Who says
no?
I think you might find some opposition in some parts to this one. It's not your fault. It's hard to keep 5 angles of the star happy.
It's hard to keep them all happy.
It's hard to keep them happy, and I think newly emboldened GM Mitch Kupchak and the Charlotte Hornets may spark up a no to that. I don't want to be offensive to my host, but just, they may see it as a little too promising in terms of what the Grizzlies are ending up with in terms of the 4th pick in a 4-player draft. It's
true.
I'll just my quick read.
The Hornets themselves got off. They flipped out the Gordon Hayward. They're bringing in the 7th pick, which is pretty nice. Going pick.
That cost them a pick, but sure, 8 spots or
8 spots. Yeah,
they're the worst 8 spots in the draft. No one ever wants anything to do with.
I mean, I just don't. I don't know if they're going to sign PJ Washington long term. It also gives them a chance to keep Miles Bridges around.
They are.
Maybe we might need to grease it a little more. Maybe another 2nd round pick, something. Maybe come towards the Hornets. Yeah,
one of those 42, 22nd, and 29th picks that you gave out for other teams to move up to the 4th pick in the draft. And get PJ Washington under a contract that I'm presuming is pretty No,
you're gonna have to pay PJ Washington. Someone's gonna have to pay PJ Washington.
The burden of a 6'10" guy. Well, you know what? The girlfriend situation is a little dodgy. Listen, you're right. Okay. I'm in with your star.
We can even, honestly, if we want to massage it, we can cut out PJ Washington and then just the Hornets don't move up 8 spots, which is fine. Then you just get a Rashawn Holmes. Maybe you get a. I'm gonna have to go back to the lab. I've now lost my notes to try to balance it. But no, I'm excited for whatever happens. I assume the Kings and Trailblazers exist to entertain us, and I'm excited about what they might do there.
So I have a parfait.
Yes, Chuck. What are you looking forward to?
I don't know if you guys know this about Enos Cantor. Katie brought him up. He ended up celebrating his birthday with the FBI this week. Is that what you want to do?
Chuck,
so what I look forward to is Cantor doing Memorial Day with the Department of Homeland Security, and by Thanksgiving he's going to be hanging out with the Proud Boys and eating turkey. This is the trajectory, right? I
gotta say, Chuck, when I was 16. Having my birthday party with the FBI, absolute dream. That was, I think, honestly, early high school, real into X-Files. I liked Silence of the Lambs. I would be like, man,
Elliot Ness biography.
In FBI themed party sounds incredible. At the actual FBI, I think he's just doing every kid's dream.
Listen,
as a grown adult, I got into Legos. Enos Cantor was meeting his FBI handlers and receiving his next set of instructions.
My favorite thing was the picture they took where everyone's face but his was blurred out.
I didn't see any FBI there. I just saw blurred faces. I don't know what you're talking about.
Could he have just bought a couple flags and then just rented some militia members off the internet?
No. What you need to do is you need to find that undoctored photo that Enos Cantor's not in. You need to find the original photo of just all the guys of the FBI.
And it's the voters for the Basketball Hall of Fame.
It's the voters for the
Those guys
Hustle Award,
picked-
Kelly.
Those
Yeah,
guys picked
there
the
you go.
Hustle Award.
Pick the Hustle Award. Anyways, thanks you guys for listening to this episode. Thanks to Kelly Dwyer for coming on. Kelly, you second arrangement, tsa.substack.com. Is that correct?
Nailed it. Come by for some hoops fun.
Come
It's
by for some of the
fun.
best basketball writing there is. You can follow us on Twitter. Kelly is KDon Hoops. Chuck, the mighty Chuck. Follow me, Fast Break Break. You guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, boys. Have
It was
a
lots
good
of
one. We'll
fun.
see ya.
Have a good trip,
Kelly,
Chuck.
it was a pleasure to meet you. I love you, buddy. You're great.
Cheers, Chuck.
I appreciate you, buddy.
Just be careful out there. Be careful out there. The sun.
Hydrate,
I'm-
buddy.
It's a lot of
I'm
sun.
good.
Hydrate.
I'm good. I might not see outside. All right. We'll
guys.
see you. Bye.
See you guys.